Hi, I am Peter Lemke. I am in Dr. Seeger's CEE300 class, Engineering Business Practice, and I am going to discuss today is my experience in the course this semester. So there were a lot of things that frustrated me about this course, but there were also a lot of things that I found to be very useful and very just kind of interesting to learn. Um, so in this video, what I'm kind of going to do is talk about the different things that I enjoyed um, about the course, and then contrast against what I didn't enjoy, and then kind of try to mend them together to try to blend it and have recommendations of how I think um, it could move better in the future, to help people such as myself just get more out of the course. I'm not trying to necessarily change things. I'm just going to kind of throw out recommendations as to what I would do. I know that this course is supposed to be different, and I definitely can see where a lot of that stuff comes from. But there are little minor tweaks that I think would make it more efficient and just kind of easier. So first off, I really want to discuss is how much I enjoyed the content of this course. Because most of the stuff that we learned isn't stuff that we're going to learn in other courses or that we have learned in the past. So talking about ethics, and especially engineering ethics, is not something that I've had an experience in previous courses. So talking about that and understanding it's like that you need to uphold the well-being of the masses in when you're doing design and stuff like that, and then also you get like our Colby scores, starting to understand the best way to build teamwork, continuity in groups is something that it's interesting to figure out, because I've played a lot of sports, so trying to figure out what kind of people mesh together the best is an interesting topic, and so I really enjoyed a lot of the coursework and the different things that we're learning, because it's not stuff that we're going to learn in other classes, and it's more kind of common sense stuff, and it's just these little things that you don't think about right away. When you're thinking engineering, they're not equations, you're not doing a bunch of math or anything like that. So I really enjoyed that. To the contrast, I almost would have rather had more lectures where we were having discussions about these different things, as opposed to it kind of felt like at times that it was, with the amount of parallel sessions, it was kind of choppy, because in a lot of them we weren't really doing, weren't discussing, or I mean we were kind of discussing things, but it wasn't necessarily run in a super set manner to where we were really discussing what was going on. And I just think I'd rather have more lectures from Dr. Seeger, because he's a very good lecturer, and I am actually generally interested in most of the things he has to say on the subject. Another topic that I would like to discuss about the course in particular is the use of Twitter. I'm kind of, I'm definitely not 100% for the use of Twitter in this course, but I definitely see where its strong points are. I will agree that it is definitely a better medium than, for example, Piazza, which is used a lot for the different mathematic courses, in terms of asking questions and getting answers from students. And I like it as a way to get into touch with the TAs and to ask them for help. I'm not sure if I view it as the best way. Part of me is biased as getting in touch with the direct instructors. I'm not sure if I necessarily view that as the most effective way of doing that, or sometimes it doesn't seem very formal, so it's kind of weird at times. But my real issue is that I really don't like being forced to use Twitter. A lot of times during the semester, because as someone who, with my general Twitter account, I don't like saying nonsense things. I don't like saying things that I think are wasting people's time. And what I've found a lot with this Twitter, being forced to use it, is that if I have genuine questions, I have no problem using it. But most of the time, what I'm seeing on Twitter and what people are saying on Twitter is just complete nonsense. Like they're just doing it because you're forcing them to do it. And I just don't feel comfortable doing that. And I don't like having my grade affected by the fact that I'm not willing to just say a bunch of BS on Twitter. So that's my major problem. But I definitely agree that it is that is a better means of communication with fellow classmates and TAs about the different stuff. If you have questions, I just think that necessarily having that requirement to use Twitter, I mean, that many times, it just doesn't seem like a great choice. So overall, I found this course to be a very interesting course, and I definitely learned some things that I haven't learned in other courses. So I'd say, the major changes that I would make would be, I'd like to honestly have more lectures from Dr. Seeger because he is a very good lecturer, and perhaps less parallel sessions, unless we're doing like tech reports or something like that, which I think is a very good use of a parallel session. Yeah, so I'd rather see more lectures about the information just because it is interesting things. And then also I'd like to see Twitter be used in a not such extreme manner, but more as a very well done, very good tool for communicating with others in the class. So thanks for listening to me. It was an interesting semester, at the very least. So, yeah.